All right. So
Thank
my
you,
guy
Daniel.
Brock Purdy goes up and faces against arguably the number one defense in the Cleveland Browns. So when he
Yeah.
goes out there and he looks like prime Brady, who are you going to give the credit to at the end of the game?
Didn't I give him credit after the Cowboys game? Did I or did I not give him credit?
You
Was
give
I
him a little bit
fair
of
to
credit.
Brock Purdy or I gave him a little bit of credit. I got to see the game. Let me see the game and see how it plays out. This might show up in Nick's picks. If I were the Niners, I'd be a little nervous about this game. The Browns coming off a bye, excellent defense. Niners potential letdown spot. I've talked a lot about how the team of the week is 0-5 this year. If we want to say going into week 1, the hot team was the defending Super Bowl champs, they lost week 1. Going into week 2, the hot team was the team that had just beaten the defending Super Bowl champs on national television. They lost, the Lions did. Going into week 3, the hot team was the Dallas Cowboys, who had won their first 2 games 70-10. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Going into week 4, the hot team was the Miami Dolphins, who had just scored 70 points. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. And going into week 5, the hot team was the Buffalo Bills, who had just beaten the Miami Dolphins by 4 scores. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Going into week 6, the hot team is the San Francisco 49ers. Be careful out there, America. That's all I'm saying. Now, if I'm wrong and Purdy carves them up, he is then building the resume I asked him to build. Do it against excellent defenses. Do it in adverse circumstances. And with new information, I can tweak, adjust my opinion. The point that I would like to hammer home on the Purdy stuff, other than the Jimmy G comps and that was Shanahan, all of this, the point, as Damonza stares a hole through me, that I think, you know what? I'm going to do a real test right now. Right now, Damonza, Brock Purdy is approximately the blank best quarterback in football. Numerically.
Top 12.
He's okay. There you go. So I am now, sorry, I'm going to build quite the bridge, and we'll end up in the same place. You know Laszlo Damonza, great radio host in Kansas City. He's hosted a show for 20-some years. Once upon a time, he's a big, he's very, very anti-gun. He thinks the Second Amendment's been misinterpreted. He is very pro-gun control. 20 years ago, maybe, he held a debate with a local politician. And he asked the local politician this question. He said, should we be able to, if the local politician had made the case that the reason the Second Amendment must not be infringed upon is because of you have to be able to fight back against a tyrannical, oppressive government. That's why it was written. That's what it says. And so Laszlo asked the question, should you be able, as a citizen then, to buy a suitcase nuke, to buy a anti-aircraft gun, to buy a tank? Because if the argument is we must be able to fight against an oppressive government, your 9mm or even your AR-15 ain't doing it. They got drones. So should, and if your answer is no, you should not be able to get an anti-aircraft missile, a suitcase nuke, a tank, then we actually agree that there should be some form of gun control. We just disagree on where it should start. Like you have it starting, at, military grade large arms. I have it starting at assault rifles, but we agree there should be some level. And it was a very smart rhetorical trick he played, but it was also accurate. By the way, in this specific debate, the politician, once he had him cornered like that, was like, you know what, I changed my mind. You actually should be able to buy a suitcase nuke. You're right. And Laszlo was like, well, I guess you've checkmated me. You know what? Okay, so here's why I tell that long story. You agree with me on Brock Purdy. It's just a question of degree. Because Brock Purdy does not have the numbers of something like the 12th best quarterback. He has the numbers like the best quarterback. He does not have the record of somewhere in the top 12 best quarterback. He has the numbers of the best quarterback. By what he has accomplished, by his stats, he is not only the best quarterback in the league, hands down, he is, through this portion of his career, one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. But even you don't believe that. So we are just arguing about degrees. You are downgrading him 10 spots-ish based on the weapons, the system, Shanahan, all of it. And I'm downgrading him 18 spots. We're closer than you think. Because if someone wants to, because he has the highest passer rating in NFL history. He's never lost a game. He has a infinite touchdown interception ratio this year because he hasn't thrown a pick. So, unless folks are arguing, you know what? He might be better than Mahomes. Then we all agree. It's a question of how far you want to grade him on a curve. I grade him on a harsher curve, it would appear, than everyone other than Steven Ruiz, who has him 23rd in the league, and Brock Purdy's getting asked about it by Peter King. Damonza's grading him on a slightly more generous curve, but still not. There's people should be arguing he might be the best quarterback we've ever seen. That's what his numbers are. His numbers are he might be the best quarterback we've ever seen. That's what they are.
Top 10.
Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.